Beep beep, what is up ninjas? My name is Samworld. Happy 2018. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make your very own Swanky 2s and Going Deeper time style leads. Now if you haven't heard their song Time, which is new, just came out, go check it out and just hear the lead so you know what we're kind of aiming for. Now one thing I will say guys is that we are going to get kind of close to that lead. My purpose with this video is not to teach you how to make the exact lead, because we would be here for hours, so I'd be here in the studio for like a whole day just trying to get everything to sound right. The important thing is that you understand the concept to achieving a similar sounding lead like that and making it your own, because at the end of the day hopefully you want to make a song with that lead. There are two important things you need to know from this lead. The first one is going to be that you can approach this in two ways. You can use an envelope or you can use an LFO to achieve that to the lead. And the second thing is that you're going to be using a portamento legato that will always be on. This means that no matter where I press a note and I don't slide my notes, I'm always going to get that portamento feel. This was made very popular by Dutchy Music back in 2010. You guys, if you think of Afrojack, he uses it a lot. It has these weird kind of Dutch vibes, so that's what we're going to be using for this lead. With that being said guys, our scent of choice today is going to be Serum, so let's get straight into this, and I hope that you guys learned a couple of new things. Alright guys, so as explained, we are going to be doing this very easily. As you can see here, we have the first MIDI, which is Tutorial Decay, which is just going to have MIDI notes set out like this, and we can just lower the sustain value on this guy, envelope 1. So with the decay, we're going to control kind of like the feel of the note. Another key thing to note is that there is a slope we can alter here, so we can get something a little bit more rounded. So play around with that to get the lead you want to sound right. However, the way I'm going to do it is going to be the LFO way. I'm more of a fan of it, so we're going to go with that instead. So this sustain is going to stay up. We're going to lower the level on this oscillator, and then we're going to be using a saw style kind of LFO. If you notice, it's very similar to the decay route because, it's going to have that nice slope and that shape to it. We're going to route that here at 1/16. And let's make sure this sustains all the way up. Increase the slope. Now here's where we're going to put the mono legato on with always. And this is really going to help, as you can see, because now so we are going to have that set there. And also there's going to be a little bit of portamento as well in the main melody, but that's going to be pretty much the same, or sorry, pitch bends. From here, it's time to decide the sound. The other thing you can do is decide to use a filter, and I highly recommend it if you want to get the same vibe that the lead in the song has. The reason for this is because the lead in the song doesn't have that much high end to it, so we don't want that in ours either if you're trying to go for that vibe. So easily, I'm going to use an LFO to open this guy up, and I'm going to not open it up all the way so we don't get some of the highs. So if you do this, now you can hear those highs, but we don't want that. From there, we're going to pick the wavetable that we want. Now, try and go with wavetables that give you close to what you really want. When you're picking a wavetable, think of it as if you're picking the color for your song. You obviously don't want to use wavetables that are going to have a bunch of highs or like this weird vibe to it if that's not what you want right off the bat, because it's like picking the color red and then deciding later on in the effects section that you want to turn the color red to blue. Now, I don't know how we would go about that, but you can kind of see that mentality there. We don't want to start with something that we don't really want. For instance, we would go with red. Maybe we can turn it into yellow or orange with using a bit of effects. That's the mentality we want to have. So let's go find something that sounds pretty cool. This one kind of has a nice vibe because you can see it kind of have that sine shape to it, but it's not a sine wave. It's kind of like a modified sine, and it maintains that thing that we don't really want highs in it. So we're going to go with that. From here, we can layer. And then we can apply distortion. Again, using maybe a high pass here. From there, we can apply just a standard OTT. Maybe a little bit less high. Let's reduce a bit there, no low end. And let's give a boost maybe to the 600 hertz area. And now let's play with distortion. So yeah, we're probably gonna have to go with some of the ones up top, maybe a 6. So from there, now if I decide to play a note here, and from there, you know, you can decide how much of that sound we really want to be there. Now from here, let's say you're like, you know, kind of not liking that lead. Well, what we can start doing is just messing around with the types of wavetables that we have. Now this one sounds very similar to one of the leads he has in the song Swanky Tunes and Going Deeper. This C2 is going to be for another one of the shots that they have. So this would be actually pretty nice to have. So that's how we start to get, you know, various different types of just sounds coming out. The other cool effect that I tend to hear in that sound is going to be a sync. So one of the things you can do, and this is where it gets very Dutchy, is use a saw. And the saw is cool because, you know, you can kind of apply the sync, and you're going to see what I mean. And then from there, maybe more staccato if you want. And you can kind of mess with it. But you can see the more we go with this, the more we put attention to the detail, the more the sound starts to sound more like theirs. And the key thing here, guys, is that you kind of know how to achieve that sound now by using an LFO or an envelope. I mean, if we go with the other route where we, you know, say fuck that, we'll use just the standard envelope technique. Well, we can do that as well here. You know, let's make this play up here. Add a phaser, add a flange. Now with the phaser, I will give you some tips with it because you can get very unique with it. First off, you can put it behind a distortion and kind of do a Foreman style of distortion if you mess with the frequency. So you can mess around with that. But the way the phaser is going to work very simply before we end this video is that you have access to the rate, because the phaser is sort of like a time-based effect. With BPM, you can kind of set it to what you're more used to, which is the half, 1/4 kind of modulation. So you can have the sound switch over time, definitely, maybe over a bar length. And then the depth is going to be kind of like another dry and wet, think of it, for the feedback and frequency. So definitely play around with that, maybe lower frequency there so you don't get the highs accentuated. But have fun with this, guys. Very simply, this is how we would approach making that style of lead, getting it to sound very, very alike. Let me know if you do. If there's something secretive about it, you can comment below like, oh, I finally figured out how to do it. You were missing this or that, or these were the wavetables I picked to help other people out. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick video on how to get similar leads like, you know, Swanky Tunes and Going Deeper time. It's definitely a nice lead, as you guys can see, and it's always nice to layer, as you can see, with a basic kind of wavetable there. You can also utilize the square if you want, and you know, you get similar results. You can use more than one voice, but keep in mind the lead they use is very mono, so if you want to give it extra unison and detune, you will definitely get more unique stuff out of it. Anyways, ninjas, I hope that you guys take care. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave comments down below what could have been done better, or if you figured out the lead, and I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want more sounds like this, you can find them over at evilsounds.com on the Hexagon Revolution sample/preset/project file pack if you're into this kind of music and you want to make it. With that being said, you guys have an amazing day. Take care.